Alright, so moving on to the final segment for you guys. I'll be sharing my top NFL surprises that occurred during this NFL 2022/2023 NFL season. So starting at the top of my surprises were the Jacksonville Jaguars going on to win the AFC South and winning a NFL playoff game. Now, before this season started, I said that the Jacksonville Jaguars had made a mistake overpaying Zay Jones and Christian Kirk at the wide receiver position this NFL offseason. But I did not expect this Jacksonville Jaguars team to have this quick of a turnaround with Doug Peterson and the new era of Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence being together. They did a great job. Matter of fact, this team was the worst team in the National Football League on back-to-back occasions. And that resulted in them having the first overall pick back-to-back seasons. But Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence did a tremendous job changing the culture around in Jacksonville this year. They were at one point they found themselves at 2-6 after the first 8 games of the season, and finished the season at 9-8, winning the division in the final game of the season against the Tennessee Titans, and winning a playoff game, being down 27-0, which led to one of the biggest NFL comebacks in NFL history and one of the biggest NFL comebacks in playoff history. Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence definitely deserve their credit for turning around the culture in Jacksonville this season. One of my other surprises this NFL season was Geno Smith's breakout season. Now, the Seahawks were really set to be in full rebuild mode after they traded Russell Wilson last year during the NFL's offseason. They got a lot of draft compensation that was set up for their future. And they were left dead in the water for a lot of people's eyes, including mine, when they got Drew Lock in the trade, and they were left with Geno Smith and Drew Lock at the quarterback position. One of those guys had to start this NFL season. The Seattle Seahawks went and did the right decision, starting Geno Smith, and what a ride it was this year for Geno Smith. He had the best season of his NFL career. Spent time being a backup for years with the New York Jets, the New York Giants, and years in Seattle behind Russell Wilson. He got his chance to shine as a starter and never looked back. He put together his best NFL season. He became an NFL Pro Bowler this year. He helped the Seattle Seahawks become a 9-8 football team and helped them clinch a playoff spot. Definitely one of the biggest surprises this year. And I believe he's clinched a spot to remain the starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks heading into next NFL season. So kudos to Geno Smith. And then we had the New York Giants and their unbelievable turnaround this year. Definitely one of my biggest surprises as well. They hit a home run hiring Brian Daboll as their head coach last NFL offseason, and boy, did it pay off. This roster did not have much talent around it offensively and defensively heading into the season. But somehow, someway, this New York Giants team still went to the playoffs and even won a playoff game. That is tremendous. Now, Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones both had career years this year, helping the success of the New York Giants football team. Andrew Thomas and Dexter Lawrence also had career-defining years as well. They both made the All-Pro second team as well this year. And Brian Daboll has officially fixed Daniel Jones. Now, Daniel Jones heading into the season, he had a combined number of 65 interceptions and fumbles in his NFL career before this NFL season started. Brian Daboll, just like he did in Buffalo with Josh Allen, he helped Daniel Jones with his turnover problems, and he only is the reason why Daniel Jones only threw 5 interceptions this year. So just like he fixed Josh Allen in Buffalo as their offensive coordinator and his turnover problems, he fixed Daniel Jones this year as well, resulting in Daniel Jones only turning over the ball with 5 interceptions this year. Definitely a big surprise. Another big surprise for me was the Detroit Lions come up. Dan Campbell has officially turned around the culture with this Detroit Lions team. They went from last year, they finished with a 3-13-1 record, and this year they finished at 9-7, just one game shy of the NFL playoffs. Obviously, the Seattle Seahawks had the tiebreaker over them, resulting in the Detroit Lions not making the playoffs. But boy, were they good enough to make the playoffs. At one point of the season, after the first 7 games, they found themselves at 1-6, And at one point in the season, they were the #1 scoring offense in the league, but was ranked at 32nd in points allowed per game. What a great turnaround for this team to finish at 9-8, resulting in that. And they beat the Packers on the road, finished the season off strong. Once they found out in that Sunday night game that they would not be making the playoffs, Dan Quinn said, well, they aren't either. And boy, did they make that Green Bay Packers team pay in Green Bay, Wisconsin, Week 18 in that Sunday night game. They beat the Green Bay Packers in that game and costed them a playoff spot and potentially sent Aaron Rodgers packing in his final game in a Green Bay Packers uniform. The New York Giants definitely ended the season off on a hot note, and it's so early before next NFL season, but they are officially my pick to win the NFC North Division next year. That's how highly I think of this team. But my last and final big surprise of this season was Brock Purdy's NFL rookie season. This man was Mr. Irrelevant in 2022. He was the final overall pick in the NFL draft last year, and I guarantee you, I didn't know who he was, but I guarantee you 90% of people that watch the NFL, watch college football, did not know who Brock Purdy was, and he is no longer Mr. Irrelevant now. He was the 49ers' third-string quarterback heading into this season, and has looked like the best quarterback in that quarterback room the whole entire season. Trey Lance, who was officially the starter, things did not go his way, got injured week 3, but he didn't look so good. Was it week 3? It was week 2 or week 3 he got hurt, but did not look so good on the field. Jimmy Garoppolo really didn't look good as well. Was really the game facilitator, but I saw something special in Brock Purdy, and obviously the stats don't lie. Brock Purdy was the best quarterback to step on the field for the San Francisco 49ers this year. And in his first game, he beat Tom Brady, the GOAT, 35-7, and never looked back. He won 6 consecutive NFL playoff starts, which led to him winning 2 playoff games, knocking off Geno Smith in the Seattle Seahawks and knocking off Dak Prescott in the Dallas Cowboys, and made a NFC Championship appearance in his rookie season. That was definitely a shocker. Definitely something we won't see for a long period of time. Mr. Irrelevant being the final pick, playing in an NFC Championship game as a starting quarterback, that's a fairy tale story. But Brock Purdy made it reality this year, and I believe he has, in my opinion, he has earned the right to be the San Francisco 49ers starting quarterback next NFL season. No ifs or doubts about that in my mind. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.